This video is the last in the instalments of fitting a Electrex ignition system to my BSA C15-250. It covers off the timing, both static and dynamic timing using a strobe. Okay, so the BSA C15 firing point on the rotor is 35.5 degrees above top dead center. 35.5 degrees top center, before top dead center, is marked on the rotor against the stamp mark that Electrex World stamp on the face of the stator. Initially, I had a few issues because Electrex World, by their own admission, had made an error in stamping the faceplate of the stator. You'll be able to see in a minute in a close-up of the video of the stator stamping. There's a mark slightly above the mark that they've confirmed is the actual mark for timing, static and dynamic, and that has caused me a few problems. There are many ways of checking that your piston is actually at top dead center, from a screwdriver down the spark plug aperture to using a drop tool that is rather like a spark plug but has a slide within it. And I've used a slightly more sophisticated method. My background is in IT, and I've always struggled to accurately determine when the piston is at top dead center because of the spark plug hole on the C15 being oblique, i.e. it's not like some BSA models and my Nortons that have a vertical spark plug. So with the spark plug going in oblique angle, I wanted to absolutely confirm that it was at top dead center. Due to the obliquity of the spark plug hole, I'm using a USB optical camera that's available on eBay for only £5 or £7 delivered from China, connected to my Windows 10 laptop. Okay, so what I've got here is my Windows 10 tablet with a cheap Chinese umbilical camera, and I'm going to pop it into the spark plug hole. And you will see the movement of the piston using a spanner on the Electrex nut. The crown of the piston coming up and down, and this is what I was saying. I've used drop tool, I've used a screwdriver, and I've used a DTI gauge bought from Poland with a 14mm thread. All of which was a little bit ambiguous around the top dead center mark, simply because it's quite an oblique angle, and that's the problem for me to get accurate timing and to set the timing statically at top dead center, 35.5 before top dead center on the stator and rotor alignment marks, and we'll have a look at that now. Okay, what we can see here is the Electrex World rotor and stator. And I'm not quite sure how good my camera is on the phone, but this is the stamp mark, and there's a little mark here just to the right of the black line that I've put on that was actually stamped in error by Electrex World. You saw earlier that we'd established the piston was at top dead center with a USB camera. You can also see that actually the alignment of the two black lines is wrong. So with two options, the easiest option is to undo the three nuts and rotate on the slotted keyway for the lines to align. If using their tapered collet method, you find that you've got top dead center and there isn't enough adjustment here, you have to undo this screw and remove the rotor and re-put it in so that hopefully it's within that tolerance of adjustment. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to undo these three nuts and rotate it around so that these two lines do align. I'm not going to make you watch that. I'll crack on and do that, and the next bit of video will show those two lines perfectly aligned. So the next part of the video, we will now, having set the static timing and confirmed all settings are correct, we will attach a strobe, again purchased from eBay. Link will be at the bottom of my video, and we will strobe the timing to check with a running engine that it's actually set correctly dynamically. So I'm using an auxiliary 12-volt battery
plugged into my strobe light, and the strobe light is connected to the HT lead. It's important that the arrow faces the spark plug to get the correct sensing and strobe effect. But what we're doing here is raising the bike's engine to around 4,000 to 4,500 RPM, so a fair way up the throttle scale, and checking that the fully advanced mark, as you can see in the zoomed in video element of the snap, is that it's actually it's set up. What we do post this, we've done a little bit of a tweak. As you can see, it wasn't quite right, but all the way along on this video, the camera angle is not the same as the human eye angle, and when you're shooting an oblique angle, it can show that my marks are actually off, particularly when we're looking at the stator rotor timing marks, but let me assure you that they were completely aligned. Anyway, hope you've enjoyed my video and that some of you have found it useful and filled in a few gaps from what I think are quite poor Electrex instructions. If you like my channel, please subscribe.